I'm James Rushton from the UK. I'm a drama teacher living here in Vietnam, and I have just had a Medell Bonebridge implant surgery. Got switched on Friday, and well, yeah, life has just become immediately better. I can hear things that I've forgotten that I could hear in previous time. I've been going deaf for a long time, slowly going deaf, and I've been so emotional this last weekend, and just crying on everybody and crying at hearing leaves again, and you know, looking at these sorts of images that are on your board here, all of these things that I can now hear clearly, such as people speaking and taps dripping and leaves and birds and all the things that in life you forget that you've stopped hearing every time that you wake up in the morning and you just don't hear things. And so it's a particularly happy week for me. Yeah.
So how long have you been have the hearing loss?
Okay, so hearing loss started for me in 2006, was when I first started to go to ENT doctors about this. And then over time, I guess that I started to get more and more hearing loss, so that it's been 6 years, 7 years that I've been using subtitles on the television, and I'm constantly asking people, sorry, say that again, what? Things like COVID happening and everyone wearing a mask all of a sudden, I realised at that point quite how much I use lips to read, and so I think I became more and more aware of my deafness. And actually it was me in lockdown wearing bone conduction headphones to listen to my music. I then used it with a computer, and I realised that I could hear the students on the computer better using the bone conduction headphones. Then I spoke to an audiologist in England about it and just said, wouldn't it be great if everyone could wear a microphone? And that's when bone conduction hearing aids were first mentioned to me. And I was going under assessment in England, going to the hearing implant specialists and everything, who said that I was a patient that should be getting these sorts of things. And then life moved me to Vietnam, and all of a sudden the healthcare isn't free. But the joy about being here is that both yourselves, everybody here from Dr. Huang Lee, and through the people at Medell, the people at Vinmec, everybody has been fantastic along the way, and I couldn't have wished for better treatment. And to actually see the doctor again just a moment ago, I haven't seen her since the surgery, and I've seen different doctors, and so it's just been so nice to actually thank her, because she's done such a good job. I mean, you can't notice, people are telling me you can't notice the scar, but more importantly, I have hearing, and clear hearing, and yeah, it really comfortable, you know, an easy magnet that you can wear that just sticks to the head, nice and straightforward. And my world just becomes bigger, even just then doing that, and just the difference in that alone. So yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, so what make you make the decision that you need to have surgery? You wear the manual bone conduction device. So what made you to have you decide that you need to do surgery?
Okay, well, I was getting really frustrated in England that any regular hearing aid, because my ear canals have swollen up and have closed up. Yeah. So any regular hearing aid that went into the ear wasn't having any joy and wasn't improving my hearing. Yeah. And so the moment that they said that the only real kind of option was an operation, there's one that you can stick to the side of your head, but I was just told that the operation would be better for me. I'm quite young in the grand scheme of life. I'm not young, but in the grand scheme of life, I'm quite young. I'm only 45, and I just thought, well, if I get the surgery now, I could have 30, 40 years of hearing, rather than just I could have done it without, maybe, but honestly, my life has become so much clearer and crisper. Not only that, being a drama teacher, a teacher of theatre, I need to hear what people are saying, what students are saying, and this enables me to be able to do my job. Even today was my first proper day back at work, and I've just been smiling all day because I can hear students without them being right in front of me and me concentrating on their lips and asking them to repeat themselves. I could hear students that were behind me and around me, so it was, it's been quite an emotional day actually. Yeah.
And how do you know about Dr. Hồng Anh?
So, I went to the ENT hospital, the National ENT hospital here in Hanoi, and I was referred to her from the ENT doctor that I saw there, and just, I was referred to her. I came to this clinic, I met her and was really impressed by everything that she said. I had a good number of referrals. I've only been in the country a couple of months, and a few people have mentioned her name to me from different hospitals and different doctors. So I thought, well, she seems to be the lady to go to speak to, and she's clearly very good at what she does. So I'm really thankful.
Yeah. So like, if you do surgery in the England, you will be free, right? The insurance you pay for you. Yeah,
the government would pay. But the problem is that it would take many years for you to be on the waiting list before it happens. So because I'm working here in Vietnam, for me to go back home means that I'm going to lose a number of months. You can't fly straight away after operations, these sorts of things. I'd lose a number of months' pay, and I just thought that actually the money that it costs to have this done, well, that over the course of the next 30 years is not very much money. It might be a lot of money now, but over the course of my life, it's not going to be that much money. And you can't put a price on hearing. And I'm really glad that I've had it done here in Vietnam.
So I heard that before the surgery, you and Dr. Hồng Anh connect to each other by email, right? And talk a lot about the surgery and the fees. And how many times you have to get to recover, and how many times you spend in hospital?
So she was very clear about exactly what was going to happen, that I would be in hospital between 2 and 4 days, depending on how well things go and the recovery. And I had the operation done on Saturday afternoon, and I was out of hospital Monday morning. And the Vinmec was great. The service that I received there was excellent, and true to her word, it's happened very quickly. The sweat. Okay, so it was a little bit. The site of the surgery wasn't painful at all. The site where the implant has been put in, about 5 days later, it felt a little bit tender, and a little bit swollen. But then I had the processor fitted just under 3 weeks after having the surgery. So I'm really pleased. I thought it might take longer. I thought I might need to heal for longer. So. Excellent. Really good. Get one.
So do you feel surprised with a Vietnamese doctor like Dr. Hồng Anh? Like, do you feel like how about when you compare with the doctor from England or something?
No different, other than she's Vietnamese and that's her first language, but is able to speak to me in English, made me feel comfortable. Even just before the operation, came and spoke to me, made me feel comfortable. And so I found all dealings with Dr. Hồng Anh really good, really good. And simple, quite straightforward, really. I spoke to Model, the company that is the people who own the manufacture the implant, and I spoke to you guys, and everybody spoke to each other, and We got a slot for some surgery quite quickly, and yeah, it was within a month. All of a sudden, I'm having the operation done. So it's especially for somebody in England that's been waiting so long for this to happen. For me to come here and for it to happen really quickly is amazing. So thank you to everybody, really.
So lastly, do you have any advice, any thing to talk to people in Vietnam? They have hearing loss.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have hearing loss in any way, it normally creeps up on you slowly, so you're not sure that you're getting hearing loss. Take stock of things. If you're asking people to repeat themselves, if you are needing to use subtitles, then I wholeheartedly recommend that you at least come and look at this type of solution. For me, I was able to use a bone conduction hearing aid that I wore on a band, if you remember the first time you met me. So it was on a band, and so I was able to know that it worked before I had the operation. So I knew that it was going to do well. That was a different company to the Model Bonebridge. That was the Cochlear Ossea. But it allowed me to understand that this is a possibility and that this type of technology would work. And it's mind-boggling, really, quite how amazing this technology is, and the difference in this particular hearing solution in comparison to my previous one. So on the band, when I was wearing it on the band, I kept finding myself pushing the band down to get better bone conduction, whereas obviously once it's actually attached to your bone, the bone conduction is unbelievable. And this is so light that I keep forgetting that I'm wearing it, which is amazing. So yeah. Very pleased man, very happy man.
And another question that what you're feeling about Dr. Hồng Anh and her team?
Dr. Hồng Anh and her team are amazing. Everybody's been so supportive from the start. She's been particularly good and efficient, and her expertise speaks for itself. The fact she was recommended by so many people, and then to meeting her, and I feel like I have been in very capable hands the whole way through this procedure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.